Hello, my name is Sherma Brisseau. I am a registered dietitian with the Prince George's County Health Department. Welcome to episode 2 of Cafe's Ask the Doctor series. Today, we are going to learn about healthy eating to improve your overall health. Healthy eating means control your blood sugar, control your cholesterol, helps you to control your weight, and improve your health. Now let's look at an easy way you can do that by using the plate method. Using the plate method, you can clearly see the indication. Half your plate is with fruits and vegetables. The second part, you can see it is really carbohydrates, and for us, it might be rice. And the other half, it's your protein, which is your meat. This is the simplest way of making sure you get the right portion control in eating healthy. The plate method, there's no calorie counting, but you are getting a whole series of variety of foods that we need to improve our overall health. Now let's go through the list and see, look at our food choices that we have. On the first list, you'll see it's your carbohydrates or grains. Why do we need this? Your grains or your carbs, this helps to give us energy. It has our B complex vitamins and minerals. We do need to eat a certain amount of foods from this group. It's very simple. Whether you're an adult or a child, if you're 6 foot or you're 2 feet, there's a variety. Your choices are at least 6 to 8 servings per day, not at one meal. When I turn around, especially I'm talking to us Caribbean people, a lot of time we have a plate full of rice, potatoes, yams, and green figs and everything. We have our 6 servings in one plate. We need to, again, go back, look at your plate, cut it in half, make an imaginary line, cut it in half, and then another quarter, and that's where you get your grains. Now, one serving, now I'm speaking to you, one serving of your grains is about a third cup of rice, about half a cup of your dry beans. It's one slice of bread. It's half of a large plantain. It's half a cup of your starches, including potatoes, including if you're using cereals. Look at the labels and give you a clear indication of what a serving is. Our biggest problem here is our grains. And because we eat too much of this from the grain group, we have a tendency to gain more weight, especially during this time. The holiday season is coming up and we just got over Thanksgiving. I can't even imagine to see our plate with the macaroni and cheese. We have the sweet potato pie. We have the rice and beans. All of these are carbs. Or we may have couscous or cuckoo. These are all carbohydrates. And our portions here is too large. So take it in control and start looking at the portions of your grains. I'm not saying that you can't have it. You do need it. Remember, I said it's very important because it contains our B complex vitamins. It gives us our energy. So we do need the grains. The next food choice is your fruits. Fruits are great. Fruits have your vitamins, especially now during this pandemic. We need to make sure we get some vitamin C's and D's. Your fruits, it's a small apple. It's half of a large banana. It is half of a grapefruit, which is a small mango. If you're using canned fruits, make sure they are packed in water and not in heavy syrup. Fruits are good for us, but I have to ask you to limit your juices. See, it's only half a cup, and the juice should be 100% fruit juice. A lot of time we have a tendency to drink, oh, but orange juice is good, so we drink a whole glass of orange juice, or grapefruit juice, or cranberry juice. These are very high in fructose or fruit sugars. So we need to limit it to only half a cup. Now, just take in consideration, when you're going to eat an orange, you eat one orange or one apple. If you squeeze one orange into a glass, you will just get about 4 tablespoons, which is half of a cup. But when you drink the whole glass, 8 to 16 ounces, that means you're getting at least 3 to 4 oranges or apples at one time, which is very excessive. So be mindful of that, even though we need it, is the portion control. The next fruit group choice is your milk. A lot of us feel when we get old, we don't need the milk. Milks are for babies. No. Throughout your whole life cycle, you need not the milk itself, but what it contains. It gives us calcium and vitamin D. If you're lactose intolerant like I am, then we may have to take a supplement, or we can use the almond milk and make sure that it says added calcium and vitamin D. Or we may need to use soy milk. And if we can't, there is yogurt. You can use plain yogurt or light yogurt. Do not get the yogurt that's full with sugar at the bottom. You'll look at the label, it says added sugars. That's not what you need. Yogurt is good. When you buy yogurt, make sure it has, we call it the active culture. The active culture helps your gut. It helps your gut control the membrane and prevent us from really having problems with your gut, indigestion. So you do definitely need to make sure that you have, yogurt that have active culture in it. Your next group, it's your vegetables. Vegetables is the side of the plate where you can have half your plate full with vegetables. And I encourage people when you're eating to get more vegetables in your plate. Half your plate, you can fill that plate up with as much vegetables as you like. And it could be your broccoli, your cabbage, your carrots, your string beans. It could be your collards. It could be your tomatoes. It could be your salads. Those are things that you need. They are chock full of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. And especially today, where we are concerned about getting the virus or having issues with our health, we want to make sure that we get enough of these vegetables. And the best thing I always remind people is the colors. The more color you eat, the rainbow of it, you have a variety of your antioxidants and all your vitamins that you need. A lot of us take supplements. Yes, supplements are good. But if you eat eat from the soil and you get your plate from your fresh fruits and vegetables, you may not need to take the vitamins. If you're not getting sufficient of, you're not eating half your plate with these vegetables, yes, you may take your vitamins. And I would suggest you just get a 1-a-day vitamin. You don't need to get the mega doses of any vitamins because a lot of times your body does not need all of that. Your body has to get rid of the excess amount of, if you're taking 1200% of a vitamin C or D or any vitamins, your body will use what it needs and will also get rid of it. So you get rid of it in the toilet. So you have a very healthy toilet with much vitamins because your body can't use it. Okay, let's look at the next food group, which is your protein. Protein is important to us. Protein helps us to build and repair your body tissues. You know, those guys with the big muscles that you see playing basketball, they got to have a lot of protein to build up that muscles. So we need to have, but the choice is good protein. You only need at least 4 to 6 ounces of protein for the day, but we tend to eat 3 times the amount. When we are looking at protein, your choices should be lean cuts of meat if you're a meat eater. So when you get that ham or turkey, take the skin off. If you see any visible fats on your meat, you need to remove it. I know that pork looks good, but take the skin and the fat off. Take the skin off your turkey. If you're using lamb or veal or any other fatty meat, remove the fat. You see, that fat on the meat is called saturated fats. Saturated fats helps to plug up your arterial walls. We find that even our young kids today are having high cholesterol. And the reason is because they start at an early age eating the fatty meats. And they're not exercising as we used to. Look at this era. Most of the kids are sedentary, playing with their computer or games, which contains very or little movement. 20, 30 years ago, kids would play outside. They were more active. So even if they ate that kind of a meat, they will burn it up. But today, our kids are not very active. We have to encourage them to go out and play in the sun so they can get some vitamin D. That's why we have sometimes a lot of depressed kids. They have the seasonal disorder syndrome, which is a sad thing. They get depressed because they're not getting sufficient vitamin D. So make sure they get some exercise. And I like to put in exercise with the protein because we eat a lot more meat than we need. And it's not because say we are building more muscles. No, because you need to exercise to get the muscles. So if you're not getting meat protein, vegetable protein is good. You can use tofu or beans or peas or legumes. Those are excellent sources of protein and they are lean. There's no fat in that. However, guess what? When we cook the beans or peas, we add fat back, country ham, bacon drippings, or any of those things. So we have to be mindful of what are we putting to season our greens and our beans. We don't need meat to season it. Use some herbs and spices. Use your garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, parsley flakes, a little hot pepper, anything else with the fatty meats. Eggs are a good source of protein, and we are concerned, oh, my cholesterol will go up. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 3 eggs for the week, whole eggs. So you can have 3 whole eggs, not at one time, I would say, but you can eat 1 or 2 egg whites at one time. See, the egg whites are a good source of protein. The yolk has folic acid and zinc, which we do need, and magnesium, but it's also high in cholesterol. So be mindful of that. If you're using the yolk, you can have 2 egg whites and 1 yolk. Another good source of protein will be peanut butter. That's an inexpensive source of protein, and it's excellent because it has a little fat, but it's a vegetable fat. And you can add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter anytime on anything. Even you can use it as a snack. You can make peanut punch. When I was growing up, my grandmother used to make us put some peanut punch in some milk or water and blend it up with some herbs, with some spice in it. It was delicious. And that's what we drank. And so that's an excellent source of protein and it's good. For the kids, please, instead of using some of those smoothies with a lot of sugar in it, use peanut punch. That is an excellent turnaround instead of getting the sweetened beverages that they normally use. So this is protein, again, builds and repair your body tissues. We need to have about 4 to 6 ounces per day, which is about 3 ounces at each meal per meal. So be mindful again of the fatty ones. Take the skin off. And the other thing with the protein is bake, boil, barbecue, steam, or roast. Everything doesn't have to be fried. We need to watch the amount of fried foods, again, because the type of oil that we're using may be saturated fat oil. And that is a good segue into our fats and oils. You hear me talk about cutting back on the fats. It's not that fat is that bad. We eat too much of it. Because the good thing with fat helps our body to absorb our fat soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K. Remember, vitamin D helps to strengthen your bones. So if you don't have enough fat and you're just taking the vitamin D without the fat, it's not going to be absorbed. So we need to have fats and oils. Our problem is the type of fat that we need. We have to cut back on the butter. That's a saturated fat. We need to go by if you're using the soft spreadable margarines, make sure you look at the label and see what it says. It should not say anything that hydrogenated. Hydrogenated means that it's the same process that is like butter. So it should not be hydrogenated. It should be soft margarine. It could be the fat, but water being the first ingredient. Then we can use the olive oil, canola oils. Those are good types of fat you can use. Peanuts, again, is a good fat. Peanuts, almonds, cashews, those are also, they do have fat. We need about 3 to 6 servings of fat for the day. So that's good. You can have 10 peanuts, you can have 6 almonds, about 9 cashews. Those are good. Also, if you're using avocado, it's an excellent type of fat. So you can spread avocado on your bread just as you spread butter. And you can add what you need with that. It doesn't have to be butter or margarine. Spread some avocado on there. because those are good. Again, you want to avoid put the word hydrogenated on your packages if you're using margarine or if you're using anything that has palm oil, look for that. A lot of times when we look at the baked goods at this, some of the supermarkets that just sell it, your donuts and some of your other baked goods, they are made with the hydrogenated fats. So when you put it in your hand, or if you take a napkin and you put that donut or you put any of those fatty snacks in it, you'll see all the oil comes out in there. The pastries, some of those pastries are very oily and greasy. It comes out in your hand, it will come out in your napkins because it's usually made with shortening or it's made with palm oil, which is not a healthy source of oil we want you to use. Again, look for vegetable oils, and the vegetable oil should be canola, olive oils are good. Avocado oil is good. You can use those oils. Stay away from the baking fats and the sour cream and the heavy mayo. Those are what we call, again, saturated fats. And that is where we run into problems. What I want us to remember is how you prepare your foods. Make sure that they are baked, broiled, barbecue. Well, nowadays we have what we call air fryers, and the air fryers are good. So you can air fry anything. If you're going to use chicken, you can air fry your chicken, and you can use that as a really good source if you're looking at a way to get something crunchy. You can put your potatoes in there. You can put your anything, chicken, potatoes, fish. You can air fry. I did some butternut squash air fry, and that was so good. It tastes just like it was really fried. You just spray us up. You can spray some olive oil on it, and that is really very, very good. Now, looking at your choices, you have a list of the food choices and why we need it. You have a list of the serving sizes. So what does all this mean? What all this means is we follow this type of eating, the plate method, we are going to reduce some very terrible diseases. It will help us to control our blood sugar because one, we're going to be eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, and we're going to be staying away from simple sugars. Anything that says, more than women only need 6 teaspoons of sugar for the day, and men need 9. So if you pick up a product and it has a whole lot of sugar added, more sugar added than what the product said, leave it alone. So we know that's one thing that we could control your blood sugar levels. There are 1 in 10 people in the United States have a problems with high blood sugar. And what does that lead to? It can lead to diabetes. And this is at any age group. We have kids at high school. I am counseling kids from middle school who are pre-diabetics. And the pre-diabetes comes on because of weight. So watch out for the simple sugars. Sugar doesn't cause the diabetes, but it promotes excess weight. And with excess weight, your pancreas, which is the organ that secretes insulin, cannot produce enough insulin to cover that excess weight. So that's why we eat in the plate method. We eat in the plate method to control our blood cholesterol. As I said, we are having younger kids, younger adults with high cholesterol. Again, if we cut back on the fat, the saturated fats, cut back on the fried foods, it will keep our arterial walls clean and help the blood to flow. So that's why we eat in the plate method. The next concept is your blood pressure. Most of these foods, and I'm going into not a different direction, but we have to watch where we eat. Where do we eat? We are eating out at a lot of either fast food places or restaurants. And these people, well, the servers and the owners, they are there to cater to our taste buds. And our taste buds is either have to be sweet, salt, or fatty. So we end up getting everything that's too much salt. The average salt intake or sodium intake should be around no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium for the day. If you look at when you go to McDonald's, or any one of those fast food places, just look at their hamburgers. It's usually, they should be posted on their menus. It has over 2,000 milligrams of sodium. That's all you need for the whole day. And you can have it in one meal or one hamburger, or sometimes the fried chicken, 2 pieces. So by the time you get to the other 2 meals, you already have over 5,000 milligrams of sodium. Now, when we have all that salt in our body, what does it do? Your body has to get rid of it. And you get thirsty, so you drink a lot of water. The water's supposed to flush it out. But you put a lot of stress on your kidney. Because the kidney have to say, man, this is too much salt. What am I going to do with it? Because of the amount of salt and the kidney has to overwork, your pressure goes up. So now we are dealing with high blood pressure. Again, any age. This is not for your grandma or grandpa only. They have lived their life. This is for the younger people. This is for the young people who are really more inclined to eat out more frequently than the older adults. So we need to watch that so we can watch our blood pressure. The other thing is weight control. If you follow the plate method, we will be better controlling our weight. When we control our weight, we control all the other diseases, the kidney disease, the heart disease, the blood sugar disease. So being more mindful of what we eating is great because it will help you to control those diseases. As I said, pay attention to what you eat, when you eat, and how much you eat. I have to remind you, you need at least 3 meals a day. Eating every 4 to 5 hours is a good way to train your system so your gut will empty out and refill every 4 to 5 hours. Once we get that in play, we would find that, wait a minute, my stomach is going down, I am feeling better, you have more energy to do your work and to study. When we skip our meals or delay eating because we are too busy, and I'm speaking to somebody on the line right now, they may be lying in bed or they may be saying, oh no, I don't feel like eating right now. I'll eat later. When you skip your meals, you're doing a couple of things. One, you're slowing down your body metabolism. You're building up a lot of gas in your stomach. Your stomach is beginning to secrete more hydrochloric acids. And that acid brings on indigestion and makes you feel nauseous, make you feel sick. So be mindful of that. Avoid skipping your meals. Be mindful of this is important to us to take care of our bodies. This is the only body we have. We can't go to the car, you can take your car and get an engine change. Right now, to get an engine change, to get your body change over, you can't afford that. And it makes you feel terrible. So be mindful of what you eat. If you cannot eat on time, then have a healthy snack. Walk with a piece of fruit or vegetable or a yogurt or something that you could snack on in between and say, well, I'm going to eat later. What that does is keep your body metabolism moving. And that is what we want. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I would be listening to hear if there's any questions or any chat from the chat room. You be free. I am so proud of Cafe putting on this to change, to help us improve in our overall health. So please take note of this and I'll be happy to come back and answer any questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Again, this is episode 2, Ask the Doctor series, and it's on healthy eating to improve your overall health. Thank you very much.